Hi, I'm Sean Reardon, Mayor of Newburyport, and welcome to the latest edition of the Mayor's Corner. Well, I survived Earth Day. I survived my birthday last weekend. I want to thank everyone who came out to our event down at Market Square. We had 8 wonderful tables set up. We had a banner that kids and adults were tracing their handprints on and making commitments towards helping our planet. So it was just a great event, and it was some great conversations that were happening down there. So we're going to continue that. We're going to do that every year. But I was thrilled that we were able to put this together in such a short period of time. And again, a big thank you to ACES, the environmental group, and the Chamber for helping us do that. And then again, thank you to all the volunteers that came out on Saturday. And a big shout out to the DPS, Mike Bartlett and his crew, for making sure we got our tables set up and taken down there. So that was great. Again, it's really, like I said, this is a great time of year here in Newburyport. Spring is coming. Parklets are getting set up starting today on Pleasant Street, and then they'll be out on State Street next week. So it's really just a great time of year. You know what? It's also a great time of year for sports. And everyone knows I'm a big sports guy I'm a big everything guy. But I mean, I do love sports. But we've got the Bruins in the playoffs. We've got the Celtics in the playoffs. And we've got the NFL draft tonight. So the Bruins and the Celtics just had 2 tough losses. So I hopefully starting tonight with the Celtics and Friday night with the Bruins, we can close out those series. And then tonight, this is Thursday, the Patriots will be drafting tonight. So hopefully, I always get into the draft because obviously I love my Ohio State Buckeyes too. So I'll be following where they will get drafted tonight and continue their pro careers. So it's just an exciting time of year. So whatever team you're rooting for, I hope they have success this season. What else is going on? And along with it being spring and a good sports time of year, it's also budget season. And so we are in it now, okay? So let's recap. The school committee voted on a budget on Tuesday night. So there's actually a special school committee meeting that we had already set up just in case the budget that they came out with didn't quite match what my envisioned budget was for schools. And so how this works is one of the major goals or one of the major missions of the school committee is to vote on the superintendent's budget, which they did, and they passed it. Now, it's important to remember that the school budget is it's a really big piece of the budget puzzle for the city. Again, we're climbing up towards almost 70% of our whole budget goes to schools, but it's up around 60% right now. But it's just one piece, okay? After they voted, I didn't vote on the budget, which I've said all along. I think as mayor, I'm chair of the school committee, but I don't plan on taking a budget because it comes to me anyway. So I always thought it was silly that the mayor took a vote on the school committee budget. So we had a great conversation around the budget. I think Superintendent Sean Gallagher has done a wonderful job putting together a budget that's going to meet the needs of kids and help us move forward. Again, during a pretty difficult year, right? And you've got to remember, some of the things that happened this year. We got a little bit of a bump in Chapter 70 funding from the state, which was very good. We got a bump in the special education circuit breaker, which is good, that we're going to put to good use this year. And this is the last year we have SR3 funds, which SR was that special grant funding that we received. Again, there were 3 rounds of this. So this is SR3. So this is the last of this money. It's a little over $1 million, and we're going to use that in the budget this year. So we have a lot of good things happening in the budget, which is allowing us to do a little bit more. What I wanted to make sure on Tuesday night was that we were keeping an eye on future, right? Looking down the road, because some of those things might not be there next year. And I think we've done a pretty good job of not spending a lot of those one-time funds on salaries. But there are some positions that were directly related to the pandemic that we designated those funds to. So we're going to have to make some decisions on those next year. But long story short, I think we're in a good place with our schools, and we'll be voting on, and we were very close. So again, I'm making them come back to vote again tonight because I do want support for this budget, and I have worked with Superintendent Gallagher, and like I said, we were very close. So I'm anticipating a very short meeting tonight, and then once that is officially passed, I will include that school's portion of the budget into my full budget, and then I will be submitting that next week. So that will probably get submitted on Tuesday. It probably won't be public until, we'll actually put it on the website. So probably by the end of next week, so I'll probably be talking about this next week. So I'll leave it at that, but the budget will be public next week, and then on the May 8th meeting, that will be of the City Council, that'll be the first time it will be officially submitted, and it'll be at that May 8th meeting. And then the budget schedule, the budget hearing schedule is pretty much set up for the whole rest of that month and into June. And again, this is a lot of work for the city council. It's a lot of work for our city department heads that we go and we talk about the budget and why we've done what we've done. Justify that to the city council, and then they decide. City council can't add anything to the budget, but they can cut, which we saw, they cut about $200,000 from the budget last year. So I think we're looking at a pretty modest increase in the city budget this year. There's a couple departments that I can give you a little sneak peek that I'm going to put some investments into. IT in particular, we're just so behind in the IT. We're almost a decade behind, I would say, in IT. So there's a lot of investments we want to make this year in IT. I would say the planning department, I'm looking to make some investments, and that was talked about last year a lot during the budget process. We have so many things going on in the city. We have a pretty overworked planning office, so I'm going to try to relieve some of that stress in that office. And then DPS, we've moved parks into DPS now, which is great, which has given us some flexibility, but we'd also like to make some improvements in that office as well. And we've got our new DPS director starting on Monday, Wayne Amaral. So we're excited. It's budget season. I think we have a great budget that we've put together. It's really, putting my priorities and moving those forwards. But again, this was a collected effort with all of our department heads. So we're excited to work with the city council around the budget. Earlier this week, we had a meeting out on Plum Island. So now that the dredge is done and the beach is there, which is great, we met with DCR, the Department of Conservation and Recreation, that actually owns the beach out there. It's not our beach, it's actually their beach. But we met with them this week, and I met with a couple of city councilors as well, just talking about now that we have the beach there, how are we gonna protect it, right? Because the worst thing that can happen is that we have either residents or people visiting Plum Island and walking all over these dunes that we need to help protect our neighborhoods out there. So a big part of that is working with DCR on beach access points. And then now we've kind of mapped those out. We're going to get the Moby mats out. You're going to have ways to the beach. We're taking away some access, and then we're kind of creating some other access points, again, to protect these dunes. There's been a lot of dune planting out there, grass planting. We're working with UNH. Greg Moore and his team has been doing some planting out there. So a lot of good things happening out there. And then to complement all that, we're going to have better signage. We're going to have things on the website to talk about where to go when you go to Plum Island. So we're working on all those things. And again, the beach season is rapidly approaching. So hopefully we make some headway here in the next couple of weeks. You'll actually see DCR working out there next week on some of these access points and paths to the beach. So we're excited about that. But just please always check out the website. We'll have the information out there, but we want you to be safe out there and we want you to enjoy the beach in the right way. What else is going on? The fire chief search is still happening. Actually today, right now, as we speak, as this is being taped, they're going through the fire chief assessment center, which is being done up at the senior center. We had another candidate drop out, so we have two really good candidates going through the assessment center today. And so you get the scores from this actually immediately. So they'll get scores for these two candidates. And then the fire chief screening committee, that 9-member committee, will meet again tomorrow and decide if both those candidates did well enough to go on to final interviews with me. So I'm excited about that, and hopefully by next week we should have a pretty good idea who our next fire chief will be. So that's going to be great. Another thing that was in the packet this week that I want to mention, that a pride parade was being proposed by the Pride Committee. Remember the Pride Committee came together last year. It's kind of a subset of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Alliance, the DEI Alliance. So we had a lot of people send in resumes, and we appointed people to this committee. It's kind of like a mayor's group, I would say. And they've really been working hard. So, they want to put together, so June is Pride Month, right? So they're looking to put together events around that, having just like a one voice that everyone can work with to have some coordinated events during Pride Month, but then also throughout the year too. So they have a lot of great ideas. I got to meet with them, and one of them is bringing back, because I think they did this years and years and years ago, but bringing back a Pride Parade, and they're going to go in front of the Licensing Commission next week, but they're looking at June 3rd, which is a Saturday, and they're looking at starting up around Bartlett Mall and then going down Green Street and ending up at the water, and it's actually Springfest that weekend too, so it kind of all collides together, so it should be a great day. I'm in a 135% or whatever supportive of this. I think it's a great idea. I think it'll be a fun event, and I hope they let me be a part of it because I like a good parade. So I just want to give you a little update on that. Next week, May 4th, finally, my Boards and Commissions Fair is happening upstairs here at City Hall. So I've been talking about this for a year, so I'm so thrilled that we're finally getting to the point that we can do this. We'll have over 20 tables set up at City Hall Auditorium from 6 to 7:30, and all of our volunteer boards and commissions here in town will have a table up there. So residents can come in and just walk around and learn about the important role these boards and commissions play in the city. I want to thank Christine Jackson, my right-hand person who has organized this for me, but it's been a lot. There's a lot of things. Again, with over 20 plus boards and commissions, it's been hard wrangling everybody together, but I think everyone's on board. I think I've heard from boards and commissions, they're excited about this. So I think it's just going to be a great opportunity to learn a lot. And this is something we're going to do every year because we're always going to have new residents or someone who wants to get involved but wants to know where they might fit, right? Like I said, the great thing about getting new people on boards is they bring a lot of energy, they bring a lot of expertise. And again, you have to have that time that you're willing to spend. So I mean, again, learning about these boards, you kind of know where you fit and where you think you'd like to, where you think you could help. And so I'm really excited about this. So that's next Thursday, May 4th, up at the City Hall Auditorium, 6 to 7:30. So I hope to see you there. There's just a couple things I want to end with that's going on this weekend. The Newburyport Literary Festival is back to in-person. They've been virtual since the pandemic. My good friend and chair of this event is Vicki Hendrickson. She, again, who could be more excited about this than Vicki Hendrickson? Probably nobody, but her enthusiasm is just infectious with this, right? I mean, so I'm excited for them. They have a huge lineup plan. So I guess if you want information on this, and you would probably remember this in the past, but go to, spell out Newburyport, newburyportliteraryfestival.org, and they got the whole schedule lined up there. But it starts Friday night. There's an event at the Firehouse. Andre Dubus is going to be the moderator, and then like the author they're honoring that night is Peter Orner, who I believe is a fiction author, but I'm going to be there as well, so I'm excited for that. So that's Friday night at the Firehouse. And then Saturday is their day where they're all over the city, and that's all their in-person events. So it's going to be City Hall is the location starting at 9. Everything starts at 9, I guess. So City Hall, the library, the Firehouse, and Old South Church will all have events throughout the day. But again, go to the website, check it out, and then Sunday it's all virtual. So then if you got outside, now on Sunday it's supposed to be a rainy day anyways, which is great. So Sunday you can go on virtually and then check out your authors and the different sessions that they're going to offer. So I'm excited that's back. I'm excited for Vicki and her team. Just well done, and I can't wait to take part in it this weekend. There's also an art walk going on Saturday, art walk. So you can go to the Chamber of Commerce and get a map, but 18 galleries and shops are involved in that. So that's going to be a great thing to do if you want to get you out and about on a Saturday. And then one other thing I'm going to, at the Custom House, 10 a.m. on the lawn in the back, World Tai Chi Qigong. I don't know much about it, but I'm going to go check it out because they're doing an event down on the waterfront at 10:30 on Saturday. So I'm going to check that out. But Newburyport World Tai Chi Qigong. And lastly, I know, God, this has been longer than I thought it was going to be. Community Service of Newburyport, wonderful organization. They're always doing something. So now they're selling raffle tickets to help kids who can't afford to go to camp can go to camp in the summer. So they're selling raffle tickets, and I guess it's for baskets with a painting and some gift cards in it. And so you can actually come to City Hall if you'd like, and you can get a raffle ticket here at City Hall. And just ask the person out front, they'll get you. But they're going to sell those throughout the whole month. They starts now, the whole month of May, and then the drawing is going to be at Springfest, June 4th, down on the waterfront. I think it's down for June 4th. Yeah. So anyways, that's always a great group to support because they're always doing great things. But that's it. That's our Mayor's Corner. Get out there and enjoy the weekend. Get ready for budget season. I have open office hours tonight and tomorrow as well. So come see me 8 to 10 a.m. Tomorrow. I'll be here for open office hours. And I hope I see you out and about this weekend. And I really hope I see you next time on the Mayor's Corner.